Let's pick a jar. Which jar should we have? Hi everyone. Yes, I'm still wearing the same clothes as the last two videos because I am filming back to back. Hello, sue me. This time I'm doing my, God, where are we? November TBR, hence the jars. And those of you who have just watched my September wrap-up will know how appallingly bad I did at following my last TBR poll. I would like to point out November is the month of Believathon, Escape from the Jungle, which is basically, here are 31 prompts, read as much or as little as you want, read whatever you want, just go for it and have fun. Knock yourselves out, guys. Believathon is hosted and created by Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin. I'll leave the link to his very funny, entertaining video for the readathon down below. So this TBR might go completely out the window if I get sidetracked and start reading lots of middle grade. Hey, you know what I'm like, people. Right, so confession time. For those of you that haven't watched my wrap-up video, you will know I completely failed to read 4 books from my planned TBR last month. So those will have to go back into the jars. Oh dear. This is why I hope I put them in the right jars. That one in there. That one goes in there. Okay, one of those is middle grade and one of those is... And this is relatively new. I go along, I pick a book out of each jar. One is middle grade, one is YA, one is adult, and one is various collections of stuff. I may or may not like the book I've pulled out. As anyone who knows, who watched my October TBR will know, yeah, I will argue with my choices. So, should we see what I am or am not going to read this month? Let's pick a jar. Which jar should we have? Whoops. So, I have my Sarah J Maas jar here. It's the Night Court. And again, I can't remember what should be in this jar. So, here we go. Well, it's not many, so fingers crossed for a good one. You have one. You can see it here. Can I open it? Redwall! Yes, it does say, ooh, I'm a long way away. Redwall series. They are by Brian Jacks, and I do have 2 books from the Redwall series that I have actually not read. But I think what I'm going to do is read a Redwall Winter, because that's a nice little novella. It's kind of thematic for the year. It's set in wintertime, big feast and all that. I think it's set around solstice actually. And it would tie in with Believathon. Redwall Winter's Tale. There we go. I love this. It's just illustrated as well. So I really like this one. It's been years since I've read this. I think I've only read it once. It's such a beautiful book. So that's the first one on my TBR. Well done, jar. My next jar I've picked up is my We Hunt the Flame jar, which is a fantastic duology. You need to read it, people. Let's see what's in this one. It was a bit fuller. It's probably YA. I think it's YA. Might be adult. I don't know. Anyway, I've got this one. Let's see. Baragath the Sorcerer. Is that the David Ennings one? I don't want to read that. Sorry. I'm doing Wheel of Time. I don't need another big fat fantasy series book. Poldark. Oh, is that Winston Graham? Historical romance scene. If I don't read it this month, it's going. Okay then. That must have been the adult box then. Yes, Ross Poldark by Winston Graham. First book in the Poldark series, which are like 9. It's kind of what Diana's doing with her Outlander series. I was going to read this. I picked these up cheap in a charity shop. So they've got like nice, you know, nondescript, non-TV tie-in covers, which is kind of cool. But I've kind of gone off reading them, having seen where Poldark's character goes further down the line. And actually he's a bit of a git. He's certainly a rapist. And I'm not quite sure if I want to read this anymore. This was possibly going to be an unhaul this year. So if I don't read it this month, it'll go. So book 2 on the November TBR. This is my Blood and Honey tin. So this must be my YA. Quite a few in here as well. Let's have a look. Scythe. The Scythe trilogy. Yeah, it is on my I want to read pile. I have to admit, my husband keeps going on about it. He really enjoyed it. Yeah, okay, we'll get that one. Where is it? It's Scythe by Neil Shusterman. This is like a dystopian slow burn romance involving a lot of death and the big questions of if we can control life and death, should we? How is it being used for corruption and abused? My husband really liked this series, so it's been on my pile. And finally, the If It's jar. This has got all sorts in here. Literally, I mean, I'm not quite sure what the rules were for putting it in here, but there you go. Let's have a look. What have we got? Please be a good one. Please be something I want to read. Graphic novel DC. Hang on. I've just read one, haven't I? But I think I've just done 2. No, that's not happening. I have just read the ones I have got, and I went to the library today and didn't pick up a DC graphic novel, so it's not happening. Let's pick another one. Please be a good one. Modern classic. The hell was I thinking of when I put that down? A modern classic? No, I'm not doing that. I can't bother to think. Doing well. I might just get to a point where I start taking some of the prompts out. And here we go again. Malcolm's Sci-Fi Bookcase. Does it count? I'm reading Dune Messiah at the moment. Right. Husband has got his own personal little bookcase beside the bed that is absolutely stacked chock-a-block to the rim of classic sci-fi books that he's been swiping off his father and collecting himself for many years now. And it's full of some really hardcore sci-fi in there. I'm going to go and have a look and see what I fancy. I mean, some nice skinny books on there, so I might get one of them. Okay, that was flipping hard. There's quite a few in there I want to read, but they're all like that big. Anyway, I've gone with Electric Dreams by Philip K. Dick. This is a collection of short stories that were used for the Channel 4 series, which we really enjoyed actually. And my husband read this to me, oh my god, this must be years ago. When was the series done? Oh, this is still down as volume 1, they never did anymore. 2017. This was published, there we go. It's been five years since I've read this. So I'm actually going to reread all these short stories. And yes, that cover is doing psychedelic funky things to your eyes. So that's my 4 main ones from the jar that I have picked or have vaguely sort of agreed to read. So I now get to choose a couple of my own that I want to do, and I'm going to put Shielded back on that pile because I do badly want to read this. It's quite interesting. I seem to have a page sticking out a little bit higher than anybody else. So this will be my Fairy Loot choice that I kind of haven't read and I want to read. So this is going back on the pile for this month. And one other. What should I have? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I'm looking at a lot of books I've already read actually. I know it's a big book, but I'm going to put Calamity on there. I mean, it's got a big font, so I'm not going to panic too much. God, it's heavy. This is the 3rd book in the Reckoners series by Brandon Sanderson. It's like his anti-X-Men heroes series. I have read the first 2, so I really ought to finish the trilogy off before I forget what the heck's been going on. So I'm going to put this on November's TBR and see how I get on. So there we go, that's my planned November TBR, which will probably completely change and be ignored or read over, depending on my mood or how I go. I would say there is Believathon going on as well, so I will hopefully jump into that occasionally. There's no pressure on to read so many books or anything, it's literally just whatever you want to do, it's a free-for-all. And I will also be continuing with my Wheel of Time, reading before the series. I want to read as much as possible before I see the episodes. And there is a Wheel of Time read-along called What Along. I will leave links and information down below for that. So I've got a little bit behind because I think they started in August. So I'm definitely 2 or 3 books behind already. I want to be reading that one as well. And then, I don't know if you heard, but there was like a Super Thursday a couple of weeks ago where like 300 new books were released. And there's a lot of books that have come out that I really want to read, and it's really bad of me. I'll just let you know all about my reading, and then you can go, ha, what's the point of having a TBR if you don't stick to it? Well, it's because I don't have to stick to it. Let me know what you're planning on reading for November. Are you doing Believathon? If so, go and check out all the info, and good luck. And wish me luck. Use your MacGuffins in the description box down below. Social media, book blog, you know what to do. And also Booktubers that you need to go and check out, please. As always, thank you very much for watching. Happy reading and be well.